Right. So in today's class, we'll talk about glaucoma. So first I'll talk about what is glaucoma, then we'll look at the treatment of glaucoma. Now, glaucoma is a chronic disease of the eye, okay? And it will progress in such a way that it will cause neuropathy, optic neuropathy. So one second. Glaucoma is a chronic eye disease that leads to optic neuropathy. So the person's optic nerve will be damaged, sometimes beyond repair. Now, what happens? Why is this optic neuropathy occurring? This occurs because of increased intraocular pressure. Specifically, aqueous humor increases. Now, aqueous humor is a type of fluid that is, if you remember your anatomy of the eye, you will have the front chamber and the the one chamber in the front and one chamber in the back in your eye. Okay. Um, anterior and posterior chamber भी बोलते हैं लोगों को. In your anterior chamber you will have your aqueous humor. In your posterior chamber you will have your vitreous humor. Aqueous humor is a fluid that is secreted by your ciliary body. So inside the eye, one second, just to help you visualize that. ये देखो. So ciliary body, now I don't have the whole this thing, but ciliary body is responsible for production of this thing, your aqueous humor. And over time what happens is this aqueous humor, which is the fluid, will get excreted out of your eye through Schlem's canal. Okay, there's a small body near your near the edge of your cornea, technically near your iris. This is called the Schlem's canal. Okay, so what happens is as aqueous humor is being secreted, it will be consequently being excreted out through your canal of Schlem in order to make sure that the intraocular pressure is maintained at about 30 mm Hg. Okay, at all times normal intraocular pressure should be, normal IOP should be about 30 mm of Hg to maintain normal functioning of eye. Now if this IOP increases over 30, that leads to optic nerve damage. And if you leave it untreated, what will happen is irreversible damage might occur. So optic nerve degenerates. Because of this, the patient might have permanent blindness. Now the cause is not completely understood, but glaucoma in general is one of the common causes of blindness. Okay, hypertension, myopia, family history of glaucoma, all of these are risk factors. If the patient is having hypertension, or they are having myopia, or they have any family history of glaucoma, all of them are at a higher risk of developing glaucoma in their lifetime. Now as such, glaucoma can be divided into two different types. We have acute congestive or narrow angle or closed angle glaucoma. All of them refer to the same thing. I'll tell you in a bit what that means. Glaucoma. And the other type is chronic simple or wide angle or open angle glaucoma. Now, what does this angle refer to? This angle refers to the angle between your cornea and your iris. So essentially, one second. Coming back to the same image, if you look here, there is a particular angle made in between your cornea and your iris here. One second. यहाँ पर देखो, this angle बोल रहे हो. ठीक है. In case of closed angle, what will happen is that iris will be pushed in front. Essentially what is happening is in closed angle glaucoma, if you look at another image, one second, I'll exactly show you how closed angle glaucoma looks. See, this is how closed angle glaucoma looks. On the left is a normal angle. That is how your iris and cornea are supposed to be placed. and the left part that you are seeing जहाँ पर trabecular meshwork है, there is your canal of Schlemm. So there is a small canal present attached to the trabecular meshwork. So imagine there is a small pipe, and on that pipe there is a lid. Okay, that lid is made up of a mesh, so that it is only allowing certain amount of fluid to go through. Okay, that lid is essentially trabecular meshwork, and the pipe is your canal of Schlemm. Okay, through which the aqueous humor is being drained. Okay, now there is continuously the production of aqueous humor through ciliary body, and it is being continuously excreted out of your trabecular meshwork at a certain pace, so that there is enough amount of pressure maintained in your eye to keep your eye normal in size. Okay, if you remove all the pressure in your eye, it will essentially implode. It will not implode, but it will cave in. ठीक है, आई के अंदर अगर प्रेशर नहीं रहा, if a fluid is not present inside the eye is essentially a membrane. Okay, it is not something which is very hard and this thing. Collagen wire रहता, but if you actually pinch an eye, if you ever imagine pinching an eye, what will happen is it will cave in. Okay, it will be like a thick balloon. So that pressure is very important to maintain the structure of the eye. Normal pressure too. In a normal healthy human being, that trabecular meshwork is covering the canal of Schlemm, and there is a nice angle present in between cornea and iris through which aqueous humor can be excreted. Okay, I hope यहाँ तक समझ में आया. समझ में आया what is glaucoma,
Sir,
what is यहाँ तक समझ में आ रहा ना? I hope all of you are understanding till here, because here will become the tricky part, because closed angle glaucoma में what happens is the lens essentially, because of various problems, lens will essentially start to push forward. Okay, the patient's lens will start coming forward, and as a result what will happen is that lens will start putting pressure on the iris. If you can see the image on the right, the lens is putting pressure on the iris, and as a result what happens is iris closes, and even if the edge of the iris, the end which is attached to the ciliary body, wo end bhi agar band hua, you can see that the trabecular meshwork is getting blocked. Okay, as a result what will happen is the angle between cornea and iris will decrease, or it will close, hence the name closed angle. Yeah, narrow angle. I'll repeat once again. In closed angle glaucoma, lens is essentially being pushed forward because of various reasons, which are not completely understood. That is why it is, I told you, glaucoma is not completely understood, but there are two types of glaucoma. That lens, when it pushes forward, iris will be, iris will essentially get closer to the cornea, and as a result the angle between cornea and iris decreases. As a result it will become more acute. So as a result what happens is the trabecular meshwork and the canal of Schlemm gets blocked because of the iris, and as a result you cannot have any aqueous humor being excreted out or drained out through trabecular meshwork, leading to accumulation of that aqueous humor and glaucoma. Essentially that accumulation of aqueous humor will start putting pressure on the whole of the eye. It'll start putting pressure on the posterior part of your eye, and it'll start eventually causing damage to, if it goes on for a longer period of time, it'll start causing problem to your optic nerve. Okay, the patient will not be able to see properly. Now this acute angle या acute congestive या narrow angle glaucoma जो है, this needs immediate treatment. This needs drugs immediately. Okay, I'll tell you what kind of drugs you use in glaucoma, but first we'll discuss the types of glaucoma, then we'll go to drugs. So
Yes.
this is something that is an acute condition that needs immediate treatment. On the other hand, you will have closed angle glaucoma. Sorry, open angle glaucoma. Open angle glaucoma mein, there is no problem in, see, there is no problem in the angle. The lenses does not have any problem. It is not pushing forward at all. The problem occurs in the trabecular meshwork. See, there is a lid, essentially a meshwork like a mesh. Imagine a net-like structure present over your canal of Schlemm. If there is a problem in that mesh, or if there is some blockage in the trabecular network or meshwork, what happens is it will start partially blocking aqueous humor. Imagine you have a pipe through which water is flowing, and imagine some big dirt particles start coming into the pipe, and they start blocking the pipe. Now the flow of water will certainly decrease, right? The same thing happens here, because trabecular meshwork is having something getting lodged into it. As a result what happens is aqueous humor is not able to drain completely through your canal of Schlemm. Now there is no problem between, no problem in the lens, no problem in the iris or cornea. No one is pushing no one, but the problem here is the trabecular meshwork is getting clogged, and as a result of that cloggage, drainage of IOP does, drainage of aqueous humor does not occur, leading to increased intraocular pressure. In this scenario, you will give drugs that will increase drainage of aqueous humor. ठीक है, दोनों में closed angle and open angle, depending on what type of glaucoma patients have, you will use slightly different treatment, but essentially in this one you are trying to remove that blockage. ठीक है, or you are trying to increase the drainage by various ways. ये glaucoma समझ में आया क्या है? What are the types of glaucoma? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. If you have doubts, please feel free to ask. If you want me to repeat any type of glaucoma or glaucoma in general, I'm not going into the detail of glaucoma because it is not part of your pathology. I'm only explaining it because it is coming in pharmacology. You need to understand at least some basics of this before you can understand the treatment. And most of the treatment is what you've already read. Similar drugs will be given. Okay, now coming to the treatment. First, drugs that will increase drainage of aqueous humor. I'm just writing it as AH, aqueous humor. Okay, there are two different types of drugs you can use here. One is prostaglandin analogs. Okay, next you can also use this thing, आपके cholinergic drugs. Prostaglandin analogs में normally latanoprost is used most commonly. You can also use this thing, travoprost. You can also use bimatoprost, but latanoprost is the most common one. Cholinergic drugs में generally you will use either pilocarpine, you can use physostigmine, sometimes carbachol is also used. So both of these are helping in increasing the drainage of this thing. First of all, if we talk about prostaglandin analogs, this will increase the outflow of aqueous humor. Now, the probable mechanism is that it is relaxing ciliary muscles. By relaxing ciliary muscles, they will essentially cause increased outflow of aqueous humor. That is the probable mechanism of action. We don't know exactly how prostaglandin analogs will decrease IOP, but they will. The theory is that it will decrease IOP by relaxing your ciliary muscle. That is one way. Second, if you use cholinergic drugs, they are myotics. Okay, myotics improve drainage of aqueous humor by constricting your pupil. When your pupil is constricted, what will happen is your the angle between your iris and cornea, usko iridocorneal angle bolte. The angle between your iris and cornea is called iridocorneal angle. Iridocorneal angle. Cholinergic drugs, cholinergic, okay, not anticholinergic. Cholinergic drugs, they will cause constriction of pupil. When your pupil is constricting, the angle between your cornea and your iris will increase. As a result, what will happen is the blockage that is occurring, especially in closed angle, mein, it will really help. Okay, so in that scenario, आप myotics use कर सकते like cholinergic drugs, pilocarpine, physostigmine, carbachol, whatever you prefer. Then the other type of drugs that can be used. Second type. First type of drugs will increase drainage of aqueous humor. Second type of drugs will decrease formation of aqueous humor. So if you are increasing aqueous humor drainage or you're decreasing the formation of aqueous humor, in both the scenarios, pressure in your eye will decrease. Okay, directly or indirectly you're decreasing the pressure of your eye, or decreasing IOP. Either you're not letting enough amount of aqueous humor be formed in the first place, or you're increasing the drainage of aqueous humor out of the eye, because of which again IOP is going down. So you can use either mechanisms or either ways, or sometimes combination is also used depending on the condition of the patient. Then second type will be drugs that decrease formation of aqueous humor. Now इसमें तीन टाइप ऑफ ड्रग्स आते. First is beta blockers. You can use adrenergic agonists. This is not very commonly used because of a lot of side effects that occur with it, because you need adrenergic agents quite a lot. कभी कभी यूज कर सकते हैं, but not a lot. And carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. Now beta blockers में generally the drug of choice in glaucoma is timolol. You can also use betaxolol. Cartiolol is also used sometimes. Cartiolol, specifically for glaucoma. Carbonic anhydrase inhibitors में you have your acetazolamide, works very well. We already discussed about these drugs. Acetazolamide was discussed during diuretics. Acetazolamide. Okay. You also have dorzolamide, same mechanism of action, similar class of drug, same cousin है उसका. Now, beta blockers क्या करते हैं? These are first line drugs. When you give beta blockers, they will decrease aqueous humor formation by blocking beta receptors in your ciliary body. So normally you will get certain stimulus from your brain, and that stimulus is going to the ciliary body. When that ciliary body is stimulated, it will produce aqueous humor. You are essentially blocking that stimulus by giving beta blockers. Now, if you give beta blockers, they will not cause headache, they will not cause brow ache as well. Okay, they do not cause meiosis as such. Any drug that is causing meiosis, when you are inducing meiosis, it can cause headache and it can cause ache in your eyebrows. So beta blockers do not do that. So that is one advantage. And even when you use eye drops of beta blockers, it will get absorbed systemically. Okay, so you will see the effect pretty quickly as well. Generally beta 1 selective agents use karte hain. The drugs that you are seeing on your screen are beta 1 selective agents. Timolol, betaxolol, cartiolol. Beta 1 receptor will be present in your heart and it will be present in your eyes as well. Okay, they are preferred, especially in case of asthmatic patients. Non-selective beta blocker देना safe नहीं है asthmatic patients में, because it can stimulate beta 2, and दो फेफड़े रहते हैं. Since beta 2 is present in your two फेफड़े, they can get stimulated, and an asthmatic will have a lot of problem if they are if their beta 2 receptors are being stimulated. So in that situation, beta 1 is preferred. But even in them, even let's suppose an asthmatic patient who has glaucoma, उनके अंदर भी beta 1 दे रहे हैं आप, तो use it carefully. Just monitor the patient regularly when you are giving beta blockers in general to them, because even though these are selective, sometimes they will brush up a little bit on beta 2 as well. That can create a little problem. Okay, their affinity might be different, so that might create a problem. Adrenergic drugs में epinephrine, you can use adrenaline. You have apraclonidine. ये पूरे adrenergic agonists है. They will stimulate your adrenergic receptor, and as a result they will reduce aqueous humor. Aqueous humor formation decreases. They will act on your ciliary body to decrease aqueous humor formation. Apraclonidine is an analog of clonidine, will work very similar to clonidine. Okay, तो patients who have hypertension and they develop glaucoma, उसमें double काम करता है ये. Hypertension भी कम करता है, ये भी कम करता. Carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, what they will do is, now production of aqueous humor requires active transport of bicarbonate ions. To produce that fluid, aqueous humor, you need bicarbonate ions to be transported. Only then fluid will be secreted out of your this thing, ciliary body. If you are inhibiting carbonic anhydrase, let's suppose the enzyme carbonic anhydrase itself is being inhibited, then what happens is, by acetazolamide, it will decrease formation of aqueous humor, because if carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, carbonic anhydrase नहीं present है, if the enzyme is not present, you cannot have bicarbonate ions being formed. If bicarbonate is lost, you cannot form aqueous humor. That is the logic behind it. Carbonic anhydrase inhibitors will stop the conversion of bicarbonate ions. So bicarbonate ions बनने नहीं देते. As a result, they will be lost, and no more aqueous humor is formed. Hence, IOP decreases essentially. Now you can combine carbonic anhydrase inhibitors with beta blockers or cholinergic drugs, miotics. In this scenario, they are called miotics. Okay, then that completes the therapy of your glaucoma. Now the last chapter of your this is the part of your last chapter of your pharmacology. आपके last chapter of pharmacology में a lot of drugs are present which are in different names. We've already discussed the same drugs. So you have glaucoma, which was present, which I discussed right now. You will have miotics and mydriatics. Miotics and mydriatics are cholinergic and this thing anticholinergic drugs, उन लोगों को बोलते हैं. Essentially drugs that will cause meiosis and mydriasis, उन लोगों को miotics and mydriatics बोलते हैं. And you have anesthetics. Now, along with this, you will have a few miscellaneous drugs. There is a class of wherein they are. It explains this thing: drugs used in eye and drugs used in nose in brief. But that is very broad, and all the drugs that we have discussed, especially antibiotics, may generally cover कर देता. You have a few special this thing mode of route of delivery like subconjunctival injections and eye ointments. वो आप chapter 1 में भी देख ले सकते हैं. Subconjunctival injection, as the name suggests, under the conjunctiva you are injecting the patient, and eye ointments you will use in certain scenarios. ठीक है, आप meiosis या mydriasis के लिए भी use कर सकते हैं. It is only a way of giving the drug. You can give whatever drug you want to through drugs that are acting on eye through your this thing through eye ointments. ठीक है, you just apply it on the eye. Non irritant material रहता. Anesthetics तो अपन already in detail cover कर दिए, no point in going over it again. So with that we have finished your pharmacology syllabus.